All right, so let me show you where we are here. We're at the Trump International Hotel here in Washington, D.C. That would be President Trump, his newest success story. And as you can see, there are thousands of marchers here. You see the American flag, Native Americans. There's Native Americans, non-natives, 150 tribes represented here from around the country. And they are marching strong. We'll go closer so you can see. And they're making a little pit stop. So they're chanting, "Shame on you! Shame on you!" And you see this giant black, it looks like a tube, and it signifies the pipeline. And it says, "No pipeline, no pipeline." And they're all right in front of Trump International Hotel. And I would say that you probably have between 3,000 and 5,000 is my guess, but we'll find out later. So let's go talk to people. Say hi to the Young Turks.
Yes, Young Turks, you guys are the
Appreciate all your support. Thank you. So we have people in Native American. Let's talk. We got fathers with their children. Sir, let me ask you. Is it encouraging to you to see so many children out here today?
It's encouraging for me to see anybody over here, and I'm glad there's so many people came out and showed up.
And now that the pipeline, they're saying oil could be flowing as soon as next week. To you, as coming out here today, whether we win or lose, what does it say about the call for treaty rights and human rights?
It says that we need to keep fighting, and it doesn't matter if we lose 1 minute fight. We got to keep going after this. It means all these people are here, and it goes beyond this moment. It goes the fighting that we're going to keep on doing until it's done right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So. With the Young Turks. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
So you're chanting against the president. He said a few weeks ago that I haven't heard any complaints about the Dakota Access Pipeline. What are you trying to say to him today?
Pay attention, because we are. We're not going away. You've tried to kill us, you've tried to exterminate us, you've tried to assimilate us, and we're still here. We're not leaving, we're not going anywhere. This right here should be an eye-opening for him to understand this is just a few. This is just some of us that represent our territories that we come from. But when we go back home from here, best believe we're going to make sure we open everybody's eyes, because this man has no idea how the hell to run a country. Because if he did, we wouldn't have people without water. We wouldn't have our brothers and sisters being shot at in unarmed water protectors, losing their limbs or having all of these bruises because of his malicious act just to get a pipeline through.
And it looks like he's trying to push through all other pipelines too. What's your message to him and the lawmakers and the oil industry in terms of what you guys plan to do against all the pipelines?
Well, for me, I grew up in the white man's world. So I got a really good idea how it's run. And going back to my territory now, I see the oppression that has actually been put on them. And what they're made to think is that, see, we have a wampum. It's called the two-row wampum. And we're all putting our head, well, you stay in your boat and we'll stay in ours. Well, you know what? That's kind of like the streets. Because see, out in the streets, when you're a street person, you play by the streets. Once you screw that up, that's it. It's a fair game. Well, now that's the same thing he's done. He screwed that up. So it's now a fair game. So now we can come back at him the same way he's trying to take our land. If we have to go through the paper trail, that's exactly what we'll do, because we are part of the Constitution. We are actually in the Constitution. We have our laws that protect us. Now it's just time for the people to wake up and to know that we are protected.
And what do you have to say about the fact that this whole time they've totally disregarded the 1851, 1868 Fort Laramie Treaty? This is your land. The whole pipeline route is on treaty land, but they've totally disregarded it.
It's disrespect in the highest measure. And it's because he never took the time to actually sit down and speak with the elders, the people that were in charge. Because see, through all of this oppression, what we've learned is we've learned greed. We've learned how to hold each other down. But right now, at a time like this, we know we need each other. So right now we have to build each other up. We actually have to go back to our communities and actually rebuild our own governments. We have to rebuild our people and let the people know we're still here and we're going to actually stand together. So everything that they've done, it's just been like a tide by until we actually wake up and say, hey, you know what? Those laws protect us, because that's just who we are.
And what tribe are you?
I'm from Akwesasne. Akwesasne?
Where's that?
It's up north.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mohawk territory.
Appreciate it, yeah. So let's show you some of the signs here. We got protecting our mother for our children, divest in U.S. Bank supporting DAPL. You got Akwesasne, okay, support Standing Rock. The Holy Land is everywhere, respect it. And right there is one of my favorites. You got a big Make America Great hat with a bow and arrow, it looks like, right through it. So I'm not exactly suggesting violence, but hey.
This is what the kids do. We are going to.
Zero carbon by 2050.
We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
Break free from fossil fuels.
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 We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
Commit to a just transition.
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 We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
Reject corporate trade deals.
Reject corporate trade deals.
No corporate trade deals.
No corporate trade deals.
No corporate trade deals.
No corporate trade deals.
We are going to.
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 Stop militarism.
Stop militarism.
Stop militarism.
Stop militarism.
Stop militarism.
Stop militarism.
We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
End inhumane policies.
End inhumane policies.
End inhumane policies.
End inhumane policies.
We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
We are going to.
Protect water.
Protect water.
Protect water.
Protect water.
Whose to-do list is this? People's to-do list.
The people's to-do list.
All right, let's do it from the top. Let's do it from the top.
All right, when he says something, we all repeat what he says so everyone can hear the message that we came to bring to them.
right, so this goes very far.
I have like 3 bags. There's another one underneath my coat.
And they're angry, you said.
What is
Sage. Apparently they want to talk to Trump. Who knows where he is? On the weekends he goes to Mar-a-Lago in Florida to play golf, and God knows what he's doing. But some people are chanting, "Let us in" to the Trump International Hotel. And right now people are kind of congregated. People are chanting, people are singing, and you hear "Water is Life," "Mini Wachoni," and other chants. And it's a really nice crowd. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you want a picture too? Wait. Say hi to the Young Turks first.
Hey, what's up, Young Turks?
So talk to me. Are you really encouraged by this crowd? It's a lot bigger than even I expected.
Yes, definitely. It's amazing being here.
And what's your message to the president? Because he said in the past, I haven't heard any complaints about the Dakota Access Pipeline. What do you want to say to him?
F you.
All right.
That's the best I can do. Fuck Trump.
That's good enough.
Yes.
And he wants dump Trump.
Dump Trump.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you.
No, dump Trump.
Let me ask you, do you think Trump has any respect for Native Americans? Because when he signed this presidential memorandum, he was asked by a reporter, "Do you have a message for Standing Rock?" And he kind of just turned his head and didn't say anything. Do you think he respects Native American or your rights?
He's probably ignorant. He probably doesn't know nothing about our rights. He probably doesn't know nothing about our ways. He doesn't know nothing about what we believe in. As people, we just believe in Mother Earth. We believe in the elements, the fire, the water, the air. Mother Earth, we're trying to protect them. We can't survive without him. He's just ignorant. He just doesn't know.
Can you tell the audience about your hat and this? What's it made of? What is it?
Cedar. It's a cedar vest and a cedar hat from Washington State. I'm from Washington State. My tribe's called Swinomish.
What's your tribe called?
Swinomish.
Swinomish. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. And you see young people, older people, nice diversity.
Did it work?
I don't know. Hold on, guys.
Oh well. It's gonna be tight. I think the rain is making it hard to use our phone.
Okay, so we resist. How you doing? Let me ask you, sir. We're in front of the Trump Hotel. He has given lip service, to African Americans, saying, "I'm going to fix the inner cities." I've never heard him say anything about Native Americans. As an indigenous person, what do you think about this president? Do you think he values indigenous rights? Do you think he knows anything about your history?
I think he's so culturally ignorant, and just because he hasn't said anything about us. And then right away he got the pipelines going through again, right away. So that spoke, volumes of what he thinks about our cause, Like, what are you going to do when your children come to you, your grandchildren come to you and say, "Why didn't you do something? You knew they were polluting our water. Why didn't you do something?" We're here doing something today. So that's why a lot of us are here, for our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. Has very little to do with us. It's for our future generations.
And it seems like the way he talks, when he signs these little executive orders, like he's signing an autograph, he's like, it's not fair to business, all this red tape. He's very concerned about being fair to business. I don't hear much about being fair to, people, the land. And I also hear just straight up lies.
Yeah.
This is going to create 35,000 jobs and all this, which, the studies, the reports are out. It doesn't create that. So do you think his priorities are messed up?
They're completely messed up. Completely. He's so disconnected with the earth. Because the earth is our source of life. It's not a resource. It's our source of life. You know? And how do you get someone to start thinking that way? By having demonstrations like this and showing. Because he's waking up the people. If there's one good thing he's doing, it's to getting us involved, waking up people, get involved into the democratic process, and to come out and to protest and show our concerns, you know, in a peaceful way. This is a peaceful demonstration. That's why you don't see all the major news sources here. There's not going to be any violence.
And lastly, one thing that's I want to stress, it's not just about the pipeline. It's treaty rights.
Yeah, completely about treaty rights. I mean, they've been trampling on our rights for 500 years. We've been trying to cure your insanity for 500 years. And we're still here doing that.
And what tribe are you?
I'm Ojibwe from Michigan.
Ojibwe.
Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Yeah, right on.
Thank you. And could you tell the audience about this and this? What does it signify?
This is my traditional regalia, northern traditional. We powwow, me and my son. We travel all over the country, and we go to powwows and can reconnect ourselves with the earth, dancing, wearing the clothes and reflections of our ancestors. This is a contemporary reflection of traditional clothing that we're wearing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right on.
Right.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
You too. Thank you.
Right on.
As you can see, they're not worried about anything else other than showing their strength and showing the resistance. And just for the record, I got to be fair. This was going on even before Trump got into office. President Obama, he ultimately denied the final permit with the Army Corps, but there was a lot of brutalization that went on there, and the Justice Department did not do anything, and obviously Trump, his administration hasn't done anything. There's lawsuits starting already against the Morton County Sheriff in North Dakota for their brutalization against unarmed people. I witnessed, I can't even tell you how many accounts of people getting shot at point blank range, people getting tear gas, pepper sprayed, mace. It goes on. Freezing water in freezing temperatures. So there still hasn't been any accountability for any of that. And these people out here today are marching not just for the Dakota Access Pipeline against it, but for human rights. Because apparently in the United Corporations of America, if an oil company wants their pipeline through, human rights take a pause. So that's what people are out here for. Let's show you some more signs. We have justice or bust. Thank you. We got people over profits. We got Native Nations Rise. And, thank you.
We're going to be on
Young Turks. So I wanted to talk to a beautiful woman a couple years older than me. When you see so many people out here, especially the young people, what does that make you feel?
I'm just totally thrilled. It's the most exciting feeling I've ever had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just totally thrilled. This is an exciting march.
And you've seen some things. You've seen from the civil rights movement to Vietnam. When you look at the protests sprouting around America, particularly this for native rights, and so many non-natives are here to support. Do you think that's a good sign of things to come?
Yes, it appears that people are going to be coming out and marching and expressing their feelings, which they need to do. I hope we can continue to demonstrate. There's a lot of things we want, and especially for the indigenous people. That's why I'm here. I think they are noble, wonderful people, and what they're doing is great.
Thank you.
So, okay.
Appreciate it. Okay. I mean, you even have Great Britain's flag is here too. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So, go a little further down
toward the White House.
You got religious folks here.
Hey Jordan, TYT. Good, nice to see you again.
How you doing?
Awesome.
So we've actually seen clergy in North Dakota be arrested for.
I was there.
Oh,
were
you one of them?
524. I wasn't arrested.
Okay.
The person I went out with was arrested though.
Okay. Yeah, so if you didn't know, there was about 14 clergy who got arrested for the crime of peacefully protesting at the North Dakota State Capitol. It was one of the most ridiculous, horrific things I've ever seen. So the clergy who are there to pray for the water, pray for the people, they were arrested. You're out here today. You know, the pipeline, the oil company says oil could be flowing as early as next week. There's obviously still lawsuits in motion, but just tell me, what are your thoughts looking at this large crowd and a lot of the love that's out here?
Well, I think if they get this pipeline in, that's fine, but this is just the beginning. There'll never be another pipeline when, in 4 years from now, the people rebel. We're going to get somebody so extreme in there. We're going to get a Bernie. We're going to get Elizabeth Warren in there. And everything that Trump's doing, we're going to go the complete opposite way. I think we need to let it burn down and we'll rebuild.
That's one way of looking at it.
Well, they said they buried us in the ground, but we are seeds.
Keep it in the soil.
Thank you.
Keep it in the soil. Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
Keep it in the soil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil. Keep it in the soil.
Drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
Drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
You can't drink oil.
Keep it in the soil.
Anyone, Johnny!
Hey guys.
No peace. No peace. Phone on me.
Show up on the marble where I'd like to talk to you about it. And Dave Archambault doesn't have to say it.
No peace. No racist. No peace. No justice. No peace. No racist.
We got, I don't know what that is.
Well, it's a paper mache Condoleezza Rice.
I don't know what that is. So you hear no justice, no peace, no racist police.
No racist police. No justice, no peace. No racist police. No justice, no peace. Thank you. No racist birthday. No justice, no peace.
Today's date on it.
She was one of the leaders of Honduras indigenous communities in the Lanka community, and she was assassinated last year, March the 3rd.
So this is somebody who was assassinated?
Yes.
Okay.
Very.
I remember you from Standing Rock. You were on the tour. I remember you.
It's getting crowded enough that it's hard to have a conversation, so I'm just going to...
No peace. No racist police. No justice, 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 no peace. No racist police.
So they're making their way towards the White House now, I believe. And you see sage, which I saw plenty of out at Standing Rock in North Dakota. It's a religious, a Native American. Yeah. Kind of something they put out for prayer.
Watch out.
They actually did sage around the drones before drone flights, which was very interesting out there. But people are marching strong, and there's a lot of children, a lot of older people. You see here they're holding some type of, looks like what parts of what makes a titi. See signs for respect tribal sovereignty. And what's really startling, not to give ourselves a pat on the back, I see thousands of people, but I don't see CNN anywhere. I certainly don't see any folks from broadcast TV. Maybe the New York Times is here, but I don't really see a large media presence. I learned in journalism class, the one I took, that if thousands of people are somewhere, maybe there's something going on. But what do I know? So we got No Dakota Access Pipeline here for the Asian Pacific Islanders. Support Standing Rock. So you're seeing support from all over the place. Where'd you guys come from today?
Oh, we're local here.
Oh, you're local.
Yeah.
And what do you think of the crowd? It seems to me like people are really coming together still, even when the situation looks kind of grim.
Yeah, it's an amazing crowd. It's very inspiring.
And Trump said he hasn't heard any complaints about the Dakota Access Pipeline. You think he's hearing you today?
Let's hope so.
All right, that's fine. So people are busy. They're chanting, "We will stand with Standing Rock." And when we get to Lafayette Park, there's going to be a lot of speeches by Native American leaders of the No DAPL movement. And they're going to have messages for the president, for the Army Corps of Engineers,
with Standing Rock,
for Big Oil.
Stand with Standing Rock.
And you got people on balconies over there taking pictures.
Stand with Standing Rock.
I got a great shot of a guest at the Trump Hotel looking down from her window.
Eric said he has a great shot of a guest from Trump's hotel looking down from his window.
That was a woman, actually.
A woman.
We will stand with Standing Rock.
We will stand with Standing Rock.
We will stand with Standing Rock. We will stand with Standing Rock. We will stand with Standing Rock. We will stand with Standing Rock. No pipeline!
So that our little friend over here just chanted to us. What'd you say?
No pipeline!
No pipeline. Why don't you want the pipeline?
Because what if it breaks and then it will pollute our water?
You're a smart young man. He said, "What if it breaks? It would pollute our waters." Do you think the president should be thinking about the children and your future?
Yes.
Do you have a message for President Trump?
Yes.
What is it?
You suck, Trump.
Thank you. Well, I hope you go viral. So
I watch you on TYT. Keep up good work.
This young lad said to the president, "You suck, Trump." So Trump will say, "Well, that's fake news. That's fake news."
Yeah, it never happened.
That never happened.
fingers get cold.
Oh, when the flag's upside down, it means distress.
Oh, right.
So you see an American flag over there with a hole in it. It's looks like an older version of the American flag.
I don't know. I mean, I've never seen one like that before, but I mean, there's less stars than 50, so.
And it's important to note that as this march is happening, this week a leaked memo came out. A leaked memo from April 2016. The memo was written by the Dakota Access Pipeline Company to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And in that memo, the Dakota Access Pipeline gave their data for their measurements of what communities would be most affected by the pipeline. What they did was they measured a half mile from the bore openings of the pipeline, and they only measured a half mile in the Standing Rock location, but they did not include the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation in that measurement. The Standing Rock Sioux Reservation was literally 80 yards north of the half mile they measured. So basically they said, oh no, there's not any minorities or impoverished communities being affected in this location. Yet somehow they measured 10 miles north of Bismarck, which is 96% white. And they found that if the pipeline was put north of Bismarck, which is 96% white, it would have the most impact on minority communities. So that's some really, really tricky math that they did, and the U.S. Army Corps used that measurement in their final finding.
Free red fund! Free red fund! Free red fund!
And right now they're chanting free red fawn, free red fawn. If you're not familiar with that, on October 27th of last year, Red Fawn, who was a leader at the Standing Rock Sioux camp, she was a medic and did a lot of other things. She was accused of shooting at police officers. However, there's video showing she was literally buried to the ground by 7 or 8 police officers. 7 or 8 police officers were on top of her when what looked like gunfire went off. And if you look at the video, this woman would literally have to be Herculean to shoot anyone. She had 7 officers on top of her. They have not provided evidence of a gun. They have not provided evidence of her fingerprints. They have not provided any evidence. Yet she's been in prison, since October 27th. They also, for weeks when she was originally in jail, did not give her her glasses, so she could not see. I have interviewed her sister, Red Dawn, several times, and she's in good spirits. There should be a hearing for her in the next few weeks, but Red Fawn is in all these people's thoughts. Again, she's accused of shooting at an officer, yet there's no gun evidence, there's no fingerprints, and there's video showing when the gunshot went off, she was on the ground with 7 people. So more trumped up charges from North Dakota's legal system.
No pun intended.
And they're still going. Marching that way, you got people marching this way. And Indigenous Women's Rise, they have their banner. You have a large black banner, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Illinois. Eric, who's behind the camera right now, he did some reporting in Iowa because Iowa is having homeowners having their backyards dug up using eminent domain for this pipeline. So that's going on.
You can't drink oil!
Keep it in the soil!
You can't drink oil!
Keep it in the soil!
You can't drink oil!
Keep it in the soil!
You can't drink oil!
Keep it in the soil!
Can't drink oil!
Speaking of Iowa, it's Ed Fallon, leader of Bold, Iowa. Ed, what do you think of the rally today?
Oh, this is great. This is really wonderful. We're here with a lot of people from both Bold, Iowa, and also from Indigenous Iowa. Indigenous Iowa has now set up a camp and can kind of continue to strengthen that relationship between landowners and farmers and our Native allies.
Jordan, it's Ed Fallon from Iowa, Bold, Iowa.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing, sir?
Also Heather Pearson and Jessica Pierce from Iowa.
Good.
Yeah.
So, we were just saying Iowa, they've been using eminent domain, things like that. Obviously, the attention's been in North Dakota. Talk to me about what's been going on in Iowa with the pipeline.
Well, we continue to fight it everywhere we can. They haven't actually finished the work yet. They still have to put topsoil back, still have to clean up a mess they left. Mm-hmm. And we have a court suit going, a lawsuit. And that's going to the Iowa Supreme Court now. Mm-hmm. And if the lawsuit prevails, and it's a good case, basically, if they prevail, that means the pipeline is trespassing, and that oil is trespassing. And what do you do when somebody trespasses? You remove them.
We know that.
We know that from experience. We've all been arrested multiple times trying to stop the pipeline.
And in Iowa, people have gone so far as to literally digging them, like climbing into the pipeline. So there's some really dedicated people willing to put their bodies on the line, their rights on the line, whatever. You know, and also you're seeing this trend all over the country now where they're using eminent domain for a pipeline that's going to be sent offshore for foreign exports.
So it's eminent domain for a private corporation for an export.
Right.
And one thing we have going on in Iowa is we were arrested for trespassing, and we are fighting it. We pled not guilty, and it's our goal to set a precedent in the Iowa court system saying that A, they are not allowed to use eminent domain for a private corporation, and B, we had justification for halting construction that day, and we are using the Iowa 2015 climate statement as our justification.
What's the Iowa 2015 climate statement?
So 188 professors from Iowa wrote a statement that basically said, you know, climate change is real and caused by what we're doing, and they signed this. So when I got arrested, I handed the sheriff this statement and said, this is my justification for being on this property. And so we have a trial date coming up in May for that.
Iowa has very unique trespass laws. Do you want to explain those, Heather?
So in the state of Iowa, it's the only state in the country where if you can prove that you were justified, then they have to drop the charges. So there's justifiable trespassing, and that's what we're going for.
The law reads as entering a premise without justification and choosing to remain.
We have about a half dozen lawsuits like that, various angles, including the one where I was arrested with a landowner on our own property. But the really big one is the 14 landowners that said eminent domain should not have been used on their land, and if they're proven to be correct, that pipe could be removed. That's what should happen. The pipe should be removed. And if that happens, even if oil is flowing, it stops. And it's going to take the company a couple of years to find a way to reroute it.
And when do you think you'll be hearing on that lawsuit?
It's hard to say. They're just getting it to the court, just filing the appeal right now. So it's hard to say. Could be later this year. Sooner rather than later would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's catch up. Thanks.
Good to see you, man. You're coming with us to the White House, right? Yeah, I got one more question for you, Ed.
That last video got like 120,000 views.
Well, it's because of you guys being so awesome.
Well, because you were awesome too.
So
that worked out for you.
Do you ever think, wow, what if it turns out that you're successful and Iowa ends up being the place where that pipeline is blocked after everything that was done, all the blood that was shed on Native American territory? It's the Caucasian Iowa farmers who actually prevail through the legal system. Do you ever think about, wow, that would be, is that strategic? Is it irony? Is it a sad commentary? I mean, what is it?
Well, in Iowa, we have a lot of Native allies that have been fighting this as well. And there hasn't been as strong a presence as it has been in North Dakota, but we've had people like Donielle Wanatee from the Meskwaki and Marissa Cummings from the Omaha tribe. And now a whole group is pulled together to form Indigenous Iowa. So we have a strong Native presence as well. And what's exciting to me is to see natives, farmers, landowners, all working together. And we've always thought all along that, you know, we had to fight this on every front. So what's been happening in North Dakota, great. Every place there's been some action to take on the pipeline has been a battle worth fighting.
Jordan and I were just in Selma, Alabama, and we were live casting just in Selma, Alabama. We were live casting the reenactment of Bloody Sunday and the bridge crossing for voting rights. And there were people who came on in the comments and said, "What are white people doing there? What are you doing there? This is this is for the black people. White people shouldn't be involved." And so we're working on a video where we tried to answer that question by talking to an African American civil rights leader, and she told us the story of 3 people who were memorialized on the wall there, all white people who came down to the South from the North to support voting rights. James Reed, Baya Luisa, and one other person, I can't remember his name right now. I just learned about him last weekend.
Let's say it's really time that we have to look beyond color, beyond lots of different classifications, and all realize we're in the same boat. We're working together. We've got to be in this fight together, and I think that's why it's so important whenever a particular constituency group, today our Native allies, have an event like this. Those of us who may not be a part of that constituency by birth share the same values, the same concerns, the same future, and we need to all stand together. So,
if you want to be successful, it's pretty well advised.
Something we're doing in Iowa next month on Earth Day, April 22nd. We begin an 80-mile march from the Native spiritual camp that Indigenous Iowa has set up to the Iowa State Capitol for the April 29th People's Climate Movement event. So we call it the Climate Justice Unity March because we're trying to pull in other constituents as well, African Americans, immigrants, who are also going to be a part of this march over the course of 8 days, talking about concerns that affect their communities, but also how it all kind of converges in this climate crisis that we all have to unite to fight.
So Bold Iowa, is that your Twitter?
What's that?
Your Twitter handle?
Yeah, Bold_Iowa.
Bold_Iowa.
I'm much more active on Facebook.
Okay, what's the Facebook? Facebook.com/
This is Bold Iowa. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ed Fallon of Bold, Iowa. We talk to O'Malley.
And a little update for you. Right now, Michael Wood, he's a friend of the Young Turks. He's on the Young Turks a lot. Former Baltimore police officer, U.S. veteran. Him and Veterans Stand, which is a veterans group, they are right now chained like a human chain at SunTrust Bank on 14th and New York, which I think is close to here. But the veterans are basically chained to each other in civil disobedience against the banks who are funding Dakota Access Pipeline and other pipelines. So if we pass him, we'll be able to show you that. So you got veterans here too, who are nonviolently protesting this pipeline. The veterans, led by Michael Wood, Wesley Clark, they had gone down to Standing Rock in December to protect the water protectors against the police, which is kind of backwards that they should have to do that. But then other veterans groups came down, so they're here today. I was just told they are in a human chain to each other right now at the SunTrust Bank. And there we go. And just the behind the scenes for you folks, there's a lot of wires involved in going live, particularly in the rain and all that. So Eric is a little twisted right now, but we're trying to bring you...
We're actually on Facebook and YouTube as well.
Oh, we're on Facebook and YouTube right now, so we're all over the place. Share this video, share the No Dapple hashtag, get it out there. And there's also...
It says live right here, right?
Yeah. And there's also lots of people have come up to us thanking us, which is nice, because the Young Turks, I would say more than any other media, has really invested in covering this pipeline, the indigenous movement that has sprung up in North Dakota. I've been out there many times. We've had other people out there. We've been at protests like this because it's not just about the pipeline. It's about big oil, big corporations, the toxicity of money in politics. You have to start asking yourself, why is it that the public police department is out there with billy clubs, tear gas, pepper spray, freezing water cannons, rubber bullets in the protection of a private oil company? That's not democracy. That's something darker, and there's something wrong with that. So we've tried to bring that to you as best we can. We're kind of in the back of the march right now. There's thousands of people in front.
Totally in the back.
Yeah, we're in the back. But there's thousands of people in front of us.
The White House is right over there, so we're going to turn the corner and see the White House.
Yeah. The Trump Palace, i.e. the White House, is right next to us. Looks like we're marching to the White House or Lafayette.
The White House is not enough of a palace for Mr. Trump, clearly.
No. I hear he wants to turn it to the Gold House. He wants to make everything gold. But what's really incredible is, obviously Trump lies like routinely every other sentence. But Trump had insanely said, I haven't heard anything about the Dakota Access Pipeline. There's no opposition to it. So obviously, maybe he'll call this fake news or something, the thousands of people who are out here today. But if he doesn't hear it now, he'll never hear it. Because thousands of people have come out today to tell President Trump that your greed is not going to poison our water, poison our land. And just for people, because, there's a lot of trolls out there. There's a lot of trolls out there who say, oh, Jordan, pipelines are the safest way to transport oil. And they basically read off a press release from big oil companies. There is no safe way to transport oil. Railroads explode. Pipelines leak and explode every day in America. When I was down in Texas reporting on the Trans-Pecos pipeline, literally they told me there's very little reporting on oil spills down there because you'd be reporting all day. There's pipeline and leaks in Texas every single day. And it's the same thing in North Dakota. Pipelines leak. Most of the pipelines are older. This pipeline, they said, oh, we're using state-of-the-art new steel. Well, that state-of-the-art new steel eventually leaks. Also, this pipeline in particular is being very hastily built. They even said in their own words, a representative for the company said, we're building this as fast as we can to, quote, make up for lost time. So if that doesn't tell you anything, here's the SunTrust building where the veterans, I believe, I don't see them now, but there were veterans chained to themselves, I was told. Yeah. This is 15th, not 14th. So right now we're entering Lafayette Square, and the White House is on our left. So you'll be able to see that coming up. And it was raining. It's a little nicer now. The rain has stopped. Say that again, ma'am.
Standing Rock Hooray!
Standing Rock Hooray!
It's sunny.
And I don't know, not a religious man, but the sun is out now as we get to the White House. The sun has come out. And I don't know if the president's at the White House today, but hopefully thousands of people standing outside the White House will get some attention. So here is Lafayette Park, right? Square? Yeah. There's the White House.
Jordan. I believe the last time we saw each other was the first time we built.
Of our lifetime, and never will we let this darkness win. Now look out, I see many people of all backgrounds are standing here. This land
So as you can see, I don't even know how many people are here. Lots of people are here. They're in front of the White House now, probably giving President Trump a piece of their minds. They're chanting, "Water is life." And I would guess, and there's drums beating in front of the White House. How you doing? There it is.
Why don't you do a kind of a stand-up reset?
On in North Dakota. We marched all the way to the Trump International Hotel, which is the new right under budget hotel that President Trump and his real estate business has put together in D.C. So there were thousands of people demonstrating in front of Trump's hotel. They were screaming, "Let us in, let us in." There were some not so nice signs against the president. Thousands of people. There's about 150 tribes who have descended onto D.C. today. 150 different tribes from around the country. There's thousands of people. I don't know the exact number. We'll get it later. But you see young people, you see older people. I've seen Native Americans, non-natives, African American, white. I spoke with a kid who must have been like 5 or 6 years old. He said, "President Trump, you suck." So right on. And right now we're in front of the White House here. You see Native nations rise. Water is life. We are here to protect. And this is all happening as the actual pipeline, the company has said oil could be flowing as early as next week. So obviously, in that retrospect, not a good thing. But people are out here not only to protest and demonstrate against the Dakota Access Pipeline, but to scream and holler for their treaty rights and their human rights, which has been disregarded for 500 years in this country. And a lot of people, including me, have been awoken to in this whole process. And you see things like this, no consent. This is the sign of, it looks almost, is that the black snake? It looks, yeah, that's to signify the black snake. One side says no consent, another side says no pipeline. We've seen a giant "Make America Great" hat with a bow and arrow through it, which was kind of cool. We've seen all types of people come up to us, and they're fed up. They're fed up with Trump. They're fed up way before Trump. Their rights, their treaty rights, their indigenous rights not being honored. And for those of you who don't know, a memo came out this week that basically shows the oil company essentially fudged the data to make it seem like if they put the pipeline where it is now, that it wouldn't disproportionately affect indigenous communities, impoverished communities, because they only measured a half mile from where the borehole of the pipeline were. Well, what was beyond that half mile that they measured? 80 yards. If they went 80 yards further, they would have been including the Standing Rock Reservation. Gee gosh jolly. Why did they only measure a half mile? Because they knew if they would measure the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation, they would have shown that a disproportionate amount of Native Americans and impoverished people. Standing Rock Sioux Reservation is mostly impoverished. It's about 8,200 people in North Dakota, and it's very poor. That's just the facts. So they didn't measure the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation. However, for the Bismarck route, which was 10 miles north of Bismarck, North Dakota is 96% white. Somehow they found that area, 96% white, if they put the pipeline there, that would have had a disproportionate effect on minorities. So this is the energy company, who, by the way, President Trump got hundreds of thousands of dollars from in the campaign. Rick Perry, who's the energy secretary, has got upwards of $6 million from this energy company. So essentially, an energy company that is $29 billion in debt, by the way. They needed a pipeline to go through. They called up their friend Rick Perry, who has basically been their employee, because they've given $6 million to Rick Perry. Then, Rick Perry became the energy secretary. And Donald Trump, who's gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars, not just from this oil company, but many oil companies, who, by the way, put in as the Secretary of State the CEO of ExxonMobil. So at least the corruption's out in the open. They're not hiding it. And that brings us to here, the White House, where thousands of people are outside today. They're from all over the country. I've seen people from out west. I've met people from Canada, and plenty of natives, plenty of non-natives, older people, younger people, and they're here to stand up to Trump. Not just Trump, but the corporate military-industrial complex, I would call it, that says big oil executives, all we care about is executives and oil companies making as much as humanly possible, creating phantom jobs that don't exist. Trump was talking about 35,000 jobs are going to be created by Keystone and pipelines like Dakota Access. That's just false. They're all temporary jobs that are built during construction and then end. So that's the backdrop of where we are. Behind us is in front of us is Lafayette Square or Park. That's where we're going now. There's going to be a bunch of speeches by Native American leaders, by leaders of the Standing Rock No DAPL movement, and we'll be headed that way shortly. So share this video. You can go to youtube.com/TYT Politics. That's youtube.com/TYT Politics. If you click on playlists, we have over 200 videos from our coverage in North Dakota and elsewhere on this pipeline. So we'll wrap it around and go check out what people are saying in the park. Yeah, sure.
I saw you at camp all the time. Thank you. Jolie, I was at Standing Rock for 2.5 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I've seen you.
Yeah, I was always like, hi, Jordan. And then took me.
She's single.
You could get part of my per cap if we get married.
I have a marriage proposal. I love it. All right.
I'm glad you said it.
Hey, when are you coming back to play? Probably next week. Tell him I say hi.
I have Governor Martin O'Malley here. Do you guys by chance interested in talking to him?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me bring him in.
Yeah. Martin O'Malley wants to talk.
Right up. Remember, you didn't your first day. You interviewed him on your first day.
Yeah. So we're about to interview what looks like Governor Martin O'Malley, who ran for president. Yeah. So here we go.
Hey.
Hey, Governor.
Hey, Jordan. How are you? I was talking to some people who are huge fans of yours.
Oh, great. That's good.
Some guys in upstate New York, actually. But anyway.
Okay. So I'm here with Governor Martin O'Malley. He was a presidential nominee on the Democratic side. And I wanted to ask you, what's that? Candidate, excuse me. I wanted to ask
I wasn't going to correct you.
I wanted to ask you, you see thousands of people out here, Native Americans, non-natives, white, black, the whole cross-section. As they say, the oil might be flowing next week. Trump said he has never heard a complaint about the Dakota Access Pipeline. What do you think about today?
Well, that's because Donald Trump doesn't listen. I mean, he has in his own head what it is that he wants to do, and it's not in keeping with the better future our children need, and that the urgency of the climate challenge demands. Look, I think there's a lot we have to learn from our Native American brothers and sisters, and as sad as it is to see brute force and brute political will hammer through that pipeline, the truth is that there are people all across the country who are noticing. There are people who are going to rise up, and young people are going to change this world, and they're going to do it probably more in reaction to Donald Trump than perhaps they ever did by inspiration of President Obama.
You know, it's interesting because obviously he doesn't listen, but he probably doesn't read either. On Sunday, it was the first time that wind actually on the power grid was over 50% of the electrical power. At 4:30 in the morning Sunday, that happened. Also, you have solar jobs are now in job creation in that industry are now even outpacing the fossil fuel industry. So it seems like it's almost like Trump is the kind of the champion for big oil's last stand.
Yeah, he is. It's the last gasp of the old order, and the old order isn't going to go out with that kicking and screaming and throwing an angry fit. But there are already more jobs in our country created by solar and wind than there is in all of coal and oil and natural gas extraction put together. So the future is not a future of scarcity, not a future where all of us have to wear sweaters all through the winter. It's a future with more jobs and more opportunity if we embrace it. But for the temporary, which is as long as Donald Trump is in office, we're going to have people that are climate deniers in charge of EPA, and that's going to call upon all of us as citizens to really speak out, to rise up, and for young people to run for office. And I think that's what you're going to see in greater numbers than we have in a long, long time.
And, you know, he keeps talking about, 35,000 jobs are going to be created by Keystone and Dakota Access. That's just not true. There's temporary jobs with construction, but after the fact, there's not long-lasting jobs. So obviously, at the moment, you need natural gas for some things, but in terms of the job creation and all this, could you talk about the actual facts about what these pipelines are actually bringing to America?
Sure. Yeah, look, the facts are that the jobs that can be created in a renewable energy future in terms of green design, including wind, including solar, are actually far more plentiful than the jobs that come from a one-time construct of a pipeline. The other truth of our matter is this: we already have the technology that it takes to move to a point where we draw more carbon out of the atmosphere than we pump into it. But it's going to require a will. In the Democratic Party's platform, for the first time ever, and I take some pride in this because it came out of our campaign as long as I was on that stage, I advocated that we move America to 100% clean energy grid by 2050. And we can do it. States like Iowa are already at 35% on wind. You look at countries, I mean, over in the Netherlands, I think, what are they, up to like 116% in renewable. They export more renewable energy than they actually use. We can do that too as a nation, but it's going to require some leadership. And the good news is, in the meantime, so long as Donald Trump's in the White House, there's nothing he can do to stop individual states from moving forward. We move forward in Maryland. You have about 17 states that have all raised their renewable energy portfolio standard. California's moving to 50%. Hawaii declared 100%. So that's the progress we need to make right now. It's a very localized American patriotism, and it's action that we take knowing that the world and the future of our kids and grandkids on this world depends on it.
And last question, I don't want to get you in trouble with your Democrat compatriots, but I see a lot of emails about Russia and, let's resist Trump. I don't see a lot of emails anymore or much talk about Flint and East Chicago, Indiana, if it has a lead crisis, or Dakota Access Pipeline. Do you think the Democratic Party needs to come out stronger against this water contamination threats, as well as the brutality we've seen in North Dakota and elsewhere?
Yeah, I think it's still early in the Trump administration, and there's such a torrent of turds flowing out of that fan that it's hard to know which one to throw back. But I do believe that a principled opposition is one that's focused on the goal of creating an economy that actually works for all of us. That means land, the air, the water that we need in order to survive. So economic opportunity, environmental opportunity, clean water, clean air, and also individual constitutional rights. I mean, those are the two pillars, if you will, of a principled opposition. And the Democratic Party, I believe, will find a much more concerted voice as time goes forward. But for right now, it is a very dispersed opposition. And,
yeah, because they haven't been saying much about DAPL or Flint or any of that stuff.
Well, I continue to speak out. I've been elevated now to the rank of citizen, but having been governor of Maryland with the Chesapeake Bay in our center, I understand what it takes to make our waters healthier and cleaner. That's what we did. It wasn't a magic trick. It wasn't waiting for somebody else to solve our problems. It was taking the actions on land to create more renewable energy, to reduce stormwater pollution and nitrogen runoff and all of these things. And then the beauty of the miracle of walking on the surface of this earth is actually we do have the power to take back actions that are more conducive to life, not actions that destroy the earth or robs from future generations their rights and their freedoms.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah.
Great to meet you.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
Thank you, sir.
Teach me how to do what you've done. Thank you.
I'll try. Hey.
Sure.
I'm from around
Hey,
here.
sure. Thanks for your patience.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
You want the White House
We're
behind us?
trying.
My name's Mark O'Malley.
You should have been the vice president with Hillary Clinton. Why did she said you?
Who the hell knows?
Because you know why?
You see my number?
Kicked his ass. If you'd been the vice
Hey,
president.
thank you.
Seriously, she made a big major faux pas with that one.
There were a few of them, weren't there?
Thank you for being here.
Hey, my honor.
What's your name?
Bill.
We're in Lafayette Park, just north of the White House. This is the Native Nations March on Washington. We started at the headquarters for the Army Corps of Engineers, which was conducting a study of the environmental risk and environmental impact of the Dakota Access Pipeline when Donald Trump was sworn in, and a few days later he issued an executive order not to conduct that study and to resume the building of the pipeline. Energy Transfer Partners says that they are nearly ready to start pumping oil through the pipeline. We spoke to Ed Fallon of Bold, Iowa, who's been opposing the portion of the pipeline cuts right through Iowa diagonally, and he says that he believes that the legal challenge of landowners that he's helped to support they have a chance of actually getting a court to rule that the oil going through Iowa would be trespassing, and if that happens, then of course they won't be able to be pumping it through North Dakota either. He said they would have to they'd have to spend the time to make it a new route, I guess, that goes either around Iowa or around the landowners who won this case. The people in Iowa had their land seized through eminent domain, and that is supposed to be the government taking land for the public good in order to build something like a highway. In this case, Iowa's government decided to give the power of public domain to Energy Transfer Partners to seize private land for private oil company profiteering. All right, I'm going to go get Jordan, and we're going to see what's going on, where I think they have a stage and some speeches going on, although I don't hear any. Ready? All right.
Brother, how you doing, man?
Are we still live? Yeah, we can stop if you want. I thought there might be one last thing.
So there we go. There's speeches going on. So we're gonna go check those out.
We will read this word, and we will call upon all native nations and all original
Lots of folks out here, and it's gotten really nice and sunny.
Yeah, I know.
Going through the crowd here. So we're in back of the stage right now. We got to get in front. Yeah. So we're gonna shut down for a minute and get in position to see the speeches. So come back in a few minutes here on the Facebook and YouTube.